Recording in progress.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this AURUM presentation. We're here to give you an overview on a opportunity on a platform known as the AURUM Foundation. I don't work for this company myself. I'm not paid to give this information. It's purely for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any advice in that respect, nor am I an accountant or a CPA. So it's always prudent, before you start any business. It doesn't matter what business you're considering, whether it's a restaurant or a taxi business, an online business, whatever it is, it's always good advice to maybe speak to an expert in that area so that you can get good guidance. And of course, do your due diligence and make a very meaningful decision for you and for your family. What I like about this particular opportunity is particularly the people behind it. That's very important. Who's running the show? Who's running operations? How does it all work? Well, the guy on the screen is Mr. Brian Benson from California. He did his schooling in Santa Barbara, and he went straight from university into the banking world. He went into a company called Dean Witter that was bought out by Morgan Stanley. And of course, he was a trader at Morgan Stanley and was very, very successful. He then left the bank and got into what we call the Web3 space, the blockchain, AI, cryptocurrency arena. He developed apps for a bank, and he became an ambassador for a blockchain called Algorand. If you've heard of Algo or Algorand, he was the ambassador for that project. And then he joined Binance. And at Binance, he did a phenomenal job. In fact, this gentleman on the screen generated 20% of all Binance revenue. Now, is that big? Is that not big? How big is that? Binance is described as a unicorn company. And that's a company that comes from nowhere into the limelight like you wouldn't believe. Binance became a billion-dollar brand, billion-dollar company in 6 months. 6 months. It beat Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, faster than all of those companies. And this guy brought 20% of that revenue based on his jurisdiction. Now, his job was to go down into Mexico. Coming from California, there was a massive Spanish influence, Mexican language influence, and Brian majored in languages, and he was the right guy to go down. He opened up Peru, Chile, Paraguay, Colombia, Mexico, as I've said, Brazil, Chile, everywhere in between. This guy opened the offices, established the whole network for Binance in his own name, not in Binance's name. Brian Benson opened Binance LATAM, Central America, Southern America. It was a massive, massive market and a massive undertaking. And then when he established it, Binance then overwrapped his company. Binance, his business became Binance. So he's a big, big part of Binance. He was the managing director of LATAM. Very famous guy. If you Google him, you'll find him everywhere. This is good news. There's images here. There's history here when he was older, when he was younger. In fact, this image over here on the left-hand side, can you see this image here by Forbes Council? Same image we have on the PowerPoint, but here he is, Forbes Council. Just yesterday, Mr. Brian Benson was invited by Forbes to be on their council, which was fantastic news. And he's the CEO of the company we're looking for. Forbes, I would say, is a reputable media company. They do the rich lists. They do the interviews with the CEO. They've spoken more than once about this AURUM company, and they're telling us here that AURUM provides institutional grade trading. The other thing that impressed us was already they have a deal with Visa, the issuing bank of Visa cards, and you can see that both Visa and AURUM are co-branded on the one piece of plastic. Now, that speaks volumes. You and I probably couldn't get a deal like that to get your name on a Visa card, but this co-branding deal is sensational. This is not just any ordinary Visa card. This is exceptional. This is a Visa card that does not require your name. It doesn't require your passport, your driving license, a bank statement, or any what we know as KYC documentation. This is sensational. You can put up to $100,000 a month onto this without KYC. And it's cryptocurrency. You bring in your cryptocurrency, pop it onto the card, and go spend crypto in a predominantly fiat-based world. Some people don't know what fiat is. Fiat is the national currency of your country. That's fiat. So it's euro, pounds, dollar, yen, etc. That's what we mean. Fiat is the word we use to describe those type of currencies. Brian Benson also speaks around the world. He was speaking at the world's largest blockchain summit. 25,000 people attended this. Speaks around the world. $1,000. He's speaking at the world's largest. Incredible. Who was here? Donald Trump's sons were here. Who else? BlackRock. Michael Saylor from Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy. Everybody. Binance were here. In fact, Richard Tang, the CEO of Binance, worked alongside Brian when Brian was at Binance, and Richard got the CEO job. Hey, and are we glad about that? Because if Brian had got the CEO job at Binance, we probably would not be having this conversation today. Anyway, he's world renowned. Obviously, if Forbes have taken him on to their financial council, they respect this man. Incredibly well-versed man in blockchain, in crypto. That's two things he has. He's got experience and he's got connections. That's the key. Now, just last week, he spoke down at in the Emirates right now. They have what they call the Financial Week. And again, everybody was here. Brian spoke at 3 different events. One was the blockchain show. The other one was I'll bring it up in the next minute. But at the same time, Wendy O from she's a reputable media, social media influencer, let's call her. And again, there's an interview you want to listen to the questions she asked Brian, what he was doing here at AURUM, what his intentions were, and a really, really good interview. But have a look at this on the screen, everybody. Tell me who you know in the lineup. Well, I know Brian Benson of AURUM. He's the one I know, but look who he's sitting with. He's sitting with the co-founder of Sandbox. He's sitting with the co-founder of 1inch. I mean, if you don't know what those companies are, like, this is a panel where Brian Benson, our CEO, is sitting here with the best of the best, and that is sensational. Let's move on from the company now and talk a little bit about their ecosystem and about their products. This is the new AURUM telephone. Can you see it? Just kidding. That's my joke for the night. It's not a telephone. It's a point of sale terminal, a POS. And this is incredible. Businesses require this for 3 reasons. Number one, this one accepts cryptocurrency payments. The ones the shops have today do not. Okay, so shops today cannot accept crypto payments. They accept Visa and MasterCard payments, but they can't. These machines don't accept crypto. This one does. It accepts both crypto and fiat payments. So that's the first reason a shop might need this. It'll improve their sales. It'll get more people through the door. Let's say a coffee shop could advertise, hey, we accept crypto payments. That would draw in a lot of extra customers into the store for those that are running around with crypto on their wallets. They'd like to have a coffee. A shop that can advertise that they accept crypto payments will always do more business than a shop that can't. So that's the first reason shops need this. The second reason is we settle payments faster than faster than Visa and MasterCard. In some instances, Visa and MasterCard will take up to 30 days to reimburse the shop. When you have a coffee and you pay for it, the shop hasn't got the money. That's sitting with Visa and MasterCard. Maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, they get paid it. So the cash flow is slow when you use Visa and MasterCard. Because this is blockchain, we can settle payments in 24, 48, or 72 hours. And that's better cash flow for shops. The third reason is we can reduce the payments. You know, Visa typically would charge, 2, 3, 4, 5% on some transaction sales. If we could drop that to 1% or 1.5%, with this technology, we reduce fees, we speed up cash flow, and we help businesses introduce new customers because it has the ability to accept crypto payments. Guys, it says it's coming, but we already have it in the office. We already have the prototype. They're working on software now for micro payments to pay you. If you were the one that put this into the shop, every time this machine is used, you get paid. And that's coming up very soon. In fact, next month, we will see the first edition of this. We'll be able to test it ourselves before it goes into production and ultimate rollout. Great product, part of the ecosystem. The ATM machines are 2-way. You can put your cash in and it will generate crypto to your wallet. Or if you prefer paper money or cash, you go to your wallet, you generate a QR code. Let's say it was $200 you needed. Go to the ATM machine, scan your QR code, and with sound effects, out comes your US dollars. So two-way ATM machines, cash in for crypto or crypto on to get cash out. Incredible. Now, this product's not ready right now, but the point of sale terminal is very close to being ready. The next thing is the exchange. Well, tell me this. Could you name for me 10 crypto exchanges right now off the top of your head? 10 of them. Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, OKX, KuCoin. The Winklevoss twins have won. What's that called? Can't even think of the name of it. There's bit something that I can't even pull up 10. I've been in this crypto space for a while. I'm thinking MEXC. So the point I'm making is it's very, very difficult to produce an exchange. You need so much liquidity. If somebody shows up today with 3 Bitcoins and they want to transfer that to US dollars, you need liquidity. You need $300,000 sitting ready to swap. So this is already up and running. It's not mañana, it's coming. This company, one of the reasons I like it is they don't need our money to develop their technology. Lots of companies establish themselves and they take your money to build their dream. Here, they have everything. They have the payment solution, they have the card, they have the exchange, they've almost the machines ready, the point of sale terminals. They've got AI technology and the robotic technology working. They've got their web platform. They've got their customer service in place. They've got their offices. Like, what they need us for is for dispersity of customer base, for community, for wallet holders, token holders, when they ultimately launch their AURUM token. And that could be very exciting. It might be very like the BNB token. BNB was used on Binance when Brian worked there. And if he could emulate anything like the BNB token, well, there's another product we might have a couple of years down the road. They will not launch the token until they've at least 300,000 users. Right now, they've about 18 to 20,000 users. So it'll be quite a while before the AURUM token will be launched. Anyway, with that said, we don't need it. It'll be a fair launch. What we're going to talk now about is another product which is on the exchange. This is their liquidity staking product. Imagine this. You can get paid between 17 and 20% a year on your coins. So if you popped in a little bit of Bitcoin, let's say it's sitting on an exchange, idle, doing nothing. Well, at least here it could be earning you a little bit of profit. You can get about 18% a year on your Bitcoin. You could drop in a little bit of XRP or USDT. Imagine that. That's far better than the bank. That's far better than real estate. Real estate, you'll get 5 to 10% a year. It's better than gold. This beats the bank, beats real estate. And here's the good news. You don't have to lock it in. You can put it in today and take it out tomorrow. So no lockup on funds, instant liquidity. And last thing, they pay you fractionally daily. So you get your rewards every day. You don't have to leave it for a month to get your benefit. The benefit arrives in your wallet. So actually what you can see is your USDT balance growing every day, or your Bitcoin balance growing, or your Solana or your Ethereum, simply by parking it here on the liquidity product. That is sensational product. Here's an example here. This customer deposited $1,000. Well, you can see it's not 1,000, it's 1,008.94. So every day they're getting a little slice of USDT. They also deposited 0.1 Bitcoin, but look, it's not 0.1 anymore. It's 0.10018. It's every day there's a little bit of Bitcoin being added to their account with instant liquidity, a great product. What I'd like you to do now, guys, is listen to Brian Benson himself. This is a 1-minute video. Well, it's actually taken from probably a 45-minute interview, but I want you to hear something here. And Brian, when he worked at Binance, generated over 1,000 millionaires over there. But at Binance, Brian was only the MD. He wasn't the owner. He wasn't the founder. Over here, he wants to replicate that. He wants to be known. He wants to generate. It's his own goal. It's his own passion. And if you believe in a visionary leader like this man wants to create 1,000 millionaires. I believe quite a few have already been created in the pre-launch, but right now he wants to do 1,000 millionaires. Have a listen, please.
we're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's, hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people be turned into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company, is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield-bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally, is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at AURUM is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
Okay, so funny enough, I just got a text message from Brian Benson himself. I was going to take a photograph of him speaking. Isn't that funny? Anyway, what he said there was he wants to generate 1,000 millionaires, and I know a few have already been generated in the pre-launch, but there's room for a lot more. And what he feels and what he recognizes is that feeling he had when he worked at Binance. He feels that energy coming again. He feels that potential, and he says it's very like what he experienced before. So with that said, let's tell you about how to get involved with the platform. Well, it's going to cost you $20. I call that 4 cups of coffee. You've got an international fintech business. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not selling securities. You're not selling investments. You're not licensed to do that. What we have is a subscription. It's a $20 subscription. That's all you can promote. You don't have any Visa cards to sell anybody. You don't have any products to sell to anybody. That's done directly between the customer and with AURUM. You as an affiliate are only promoting a $20 ecosystem. It's a membership. It's a software as a service. That's what it is. So be very, very careful with your language. Unless you're a financial advisor, don't be giving anybody any financial advice. You're not licensed to do that. Now, for the $20, it does give customers access to the platform. And over there's some very exciting products. This would be my favorite. It's called the EXI bot. It's been in operation now for 2.5 years. Already it's done over 500%. That's sensational. And this slide's slightly out of date. 1st of November, 56 million. It's well over $60 million at this point right now. $60 million in this single bot. Now, they've 7 of these, by the way. We're only going to take a look at one of them. You can learn about the rest of them later. They've one specifically generated for Bitcoin and for Ethereum trading and BNB, but this one trades the top 20 pairs on CoinMarketCap. It's spot trading. Very, very, very clever technology. It's got 28 strategies built into an algorithm. It's conducted by the AI. AI can process 10,000 pieces of data in a second, faster than humans. AI doesn't have any emotional attachment to a trade. It's really, really, really clever stuff. And because this is institutional grade trading, this is what the banks use. This is what the likes of the BlackRock use, institutional grade, not trading like in the Wild West, some kid at home trying to trade. No, this is a different category, different risk parameters built into it. And for this reason, it's producing about 17.5% a month. Now, don't get excited about that, because you don't get 17.5% a month. That's what the fund generates. What you get would be determined by what you deposit in your own account. So right now we have the banking app on Google. It's not yet on Apple, so don't be going near it just for a moment. We'll let you know when it's going live on both of those devices. It has to get approval by Apple. It's very close to that. We believe maybe in the next 2, 3, or 4 weeks. that we should have it up in both apps. And therefore, all you're doing is downloading a banking app. It'll be the AURUM Neo Bank. And on the banking app, you deposit to your own account. You'll have your own USDT account. You deposit into it, and then you decide what you want to do. Do you want to put it on the card? Do you want to put it onto a bot? Do you want to put it on the exchange? Do you want to take it out again? So it's your money. So what you deposit determines the benefit you'll get in the bot. So let's say you put in $110 to test this out. Well, you're going to fall into the first category. Can you see that? Or let's say you put in $198. It's still going to be in that category. And those customers enjoy approximately 10%. This is not fixed. Trading moves a little. So past performance is not indicative of future results. But the bottom line here is you're getting approximately 10% a month. That's what customers are seeing right now. For those of you that can manage more than that, let's say you were able to do, we'll say $400 or $700 or $912. That will fall into the second category, the second group. Can you see that? And those customers generate about 11% a month, which is very good. And again, if you could do higher, let's say somewhere between 1,000 and 2,500, you're going to get 12%, etc., etc., etc. Therefore, the higher the deposit you can make to your own account, the better the reward you're likely to get. Now, a couple of things we need to note about this particular part is, number one, how does the company make money? If the company's paying out this, how do they make money? Because that's very important. We want a company that's strong. We want a company that's going to hang around here. So we need a company that makes money also. Well, here's the good news. If the fund's doing 17.5% on average, and these customers are getting, say, 10% a month, can you see clearly that the company makes the difference? The company makes the spread. They're getting like 7% on those accounts, which is very, very good. For those of you that are getting 11%, the company makes 6. For those of you that get 12, the company makes 5. For those of you who get 13%, the company makes 4. So in every instance, the company's also benefiting, and that's quite important. And of course, if you think about it, where do you think the majority of customers will be? Will they be between 100 and 4,999? Do you think they'll be in this first 4 tiers? Or do you think the most customers will be in 5,000 above? What would you think? I would assume the majority of customers will be between $100 and $4,999. What that would mean is this is where the company makes its most money. Okay, it makes less money for the higher accredited investor with larger deposits. But again, those larger customers don't take the same burden on customer support or any other part. So obviously they're entitled to a little bit more. So that's the first thing. The second thing we need to consider is, well, can I take out my profit? Absolutely. Any day, every day, you can take out your profit. So that's not a problem. The next question might be, could I take out my principal? Well, absolutely. Yes, you can take your principal out on this particular product on the first day, the 10th day, and the 20th day of every single month. So this one is subject to an early retirement fee. There's a small 35% fee, but after 2 or 3 months, that's negligible because you probably made that. So if you were in a position where you desperately needed, for an emergency, yes, you can access your money. That's very, very important. The next question we would get on this is, well, what does it cost to withdraw? Great question. 1% plus $1 if you're removing your fees to the BEP, the Binance network. If you want to use it to the Tron USDT TRC20, it's still 1%, but it's a $3.50 charge if you use Tron. It's a $1 charge if you use BEP, the USDT Binance version of that. We don't do the ERC version, and I believe that's because of the cost. The Ethereum network is quite pricey at times, so we don't want to enter something that's going to burden the customers with higher costs. So I think 1% is very, very fair. I've seen platforms that are charging 8%, 10%. Not so long ago, somebody mentioned they're paying 12% on withdrawals, which is ridiculous. But 1% is very fair, and that's a little bit about that product. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of accounts. Again, it's not financial advice. It's and past performance does not guarantee future results. But this account was established. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner on the 17th of April, can you see that where the mouse is? 17th of April. The deposit amount was $500, but now you can clearly see it's 882. So something's happened. All right. So what we now do is we cast our eyes to the bottom right-hand side of the screen, and you should see here that at 21:36, that's 9:36 in the evening on the 17th of September, this is when this data was pulled. So from the 17th of April, 17th of September, we're talking exactly 5 months data here. This account has achieved $382 profit over a $500 deposit. Is that good? You have to work that out. Is that good? Your $500 is now 882 in 5 months. Is that good? Let me tell you, it's sensational. If you remember back at school, well, certainly in our school, we didn't have computers when I left school. We didn't have calculators. We weren't allowed to use a calculator. We had to work it out. But I remember clearly that you put the profit, the 382, over the $500, the deposit. You divide the bottom number into the top number, and that gives you the percentage. And you can see that this account has done 76% in 5 months. Try that with a bank. 76% in 5 months. Try that with real estate. See, can you get 76% gain on your real estate in 5 months? Not achievable. Try gold. Try buying gold and check the value 5 months later. See, can you get a 76% rise? That's sensational. That's only a small deposit of 500. And bearing in mind, you could start a lot less. You could start with 100 if you wish. So I just wanted to demonstrate the potential here of a small account, which I would call a small account. Maybe you think it's a large account. I'm going to show you a much larger one. This one was a $10,000 account, and this one started on the 10th of April. I'd also like to bring your attention to the account number. It's hash B3441972. Can you see that? Well, let's just remember the 1972. This account was funded with $10,000 on the 10th of April. And I want you now to look at the bottom right-hand corner. Why? Because we're looking at the 16th of May. 10th of April, 16th of May, 5 weeks. This account has achieved $2,300 in profit. 23% in 5 weeks. After 10 weeks, the same account jumped to $15,000. 55%. After 3 months, the same account ending in 1972 on the 10th of April. We're now looking at the 10th of July. That's 3 months. 7,000 profit in 3 months. And after 4 months, this account had doubled for the customer. Doubled. 10,000, now sitting at $20,000. So that's, if you take a look at the date there, that's the 10th of August. So what do you think happened in August, then September? We had October, we had November, and yes, we've had the 10th of December as well. How do you think that, what do you think this account might be like then? Let's take a look. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, we're looking at the 10th of December. This is the same account ending in 1972. It did start on the 10th of April, as we've been demonstrating. And look at the balance now, 39,500. Let's go back one. It started with 10 and went to 12,000. Then it went to 15, 17, 20. That was 4 months. And in the next 4 months, the 20 became almost 40. It doubled again in 8 months. Incredible. Actually, look at the little account above it. You see the one on the 17th? The 17th of April? That was the previous account I showed you, the $500 becoming 882. That's that account there now sitting at 1,200. And now you can see the customers made further deposits of 25,000 last September. They made another deposit of 43,000. So confidence is obviously there, and an exceptional product, guys. So that's what we call the EXI bot. I think that's probably where most people start. I think everybody starts there. It's probably the best. It's got the most data. It's had the most success. It's the longest running. These other bots were only started in 2025. These ones on the right-hand side, we've got the Pro bot, which started in March 25. And then we've had the Zeus bot, which also started, actually, maybe that's wrong. Maybe November 24, the Pro bot started, and maybe the Zeus started this year. The Zeus bot is for those of you that have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB. You can trade those in a separate application, and they do quite well as well. And the last product we want to talk about on our call is the card. The card is quite sensational. As you can see, it operates with Apple and Google Pay. Those apps are already in play. A really, really nice product here. What people like about this one is it doesn't require KYC. Actually, we're going to have 4 versions of this. The first 2 will require KYC, and the top 2 will not require KYC, therefore giving customer choices. Some people prefer KYC models. Some people prefer not anyone to know their business. We also have the centralized exchange, which is the one we talked about. But maybe by the end of next year, or maybe early 2027, they'll do a decentralized version without KYC. So again, customers will have choice, centralized or decentralized, KYC, no KYC. So they've got a variety of products. They've got a really clever roadmap. If you listen to the video that preceded this presentation, it gives you a roadmap for the next 10 years. These guys have thought very, very seriously about that. So this card is sensational. You can top up your cryptocurrency. You can pull cryptocurrency from any wallet. Let's say you have someone Binance or someone Coinbase, or maybe you have a little bit on Trust Wallet. You can import it to your AURUM account, press top up on your card, and bring it straight up onto the card, meaning you don't have to find an exchange. You don't need to go and see somebody, to cash out your crypto. You can pop it on your card and go spend it. This is a friend of ours called John. He's had this card over 6 months now. Works perfectly every time. He stopped his trading bot. He went top up and sent the crypto onto the Visa card. And here he is down in the shop buying some milk.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. And we also tried it in the ATM machines. Imagine being able to withdraw your cryptocurrency from an ATM machine. Absolutely sensational. And to top it all off, let's just tell you that we are still at pre-launch. The official red tape has been cut on the 17th of January. We're heading to Dubai, yes, to a very, very special hotel, a 5-star hotel where the rich and wealthy billionaires hang out. It's the Palazzo Versace Hotel where this launches in January. So the timing couldn't be any better. Someone has thought enough of you to invite you along to our presentation tonight. They've thought a lot about you. When they saw this, they thought of you instantly. So please do get back to them now. That's our presentation over. Get your very valid questions answered. And I hope this serves you in some way, coming to a decision, in some way, finding out is this something you'd like to pursue or otherwise. Whatever your decision, I hope it's the right decision for you and your family. And with that, I'll leave it. Thank you very, very much. Please, again, get back to the person that shared this link with you. Get your questions answered. If you like what you see, we welcome you on board. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
Recording stopped.
Okay, guys, we did that in 30 minutes. What about that? A 30-minute show. So we have one more piece to do for those of you that would like to stay over. We have an affiliate program. I'm not sure if you're interested in that side of things. It's quite lucrative as well. But let's just show you this hotel for 1 minute. Here we go. Luxury. If any of you have got a yacht, anybody got a yacht on the call? You can park your yacht outside the door and walk into the hotel. There you go. There's a harbor outside the door. Wow. And that video goes on a little bit, but that's where the company officially launches. We've been in pre-build now. We've between 18 and 20,000 customers right now in the pre-launch, and I think things will be very busy. I think 2026 is the year of AURUM. With that said, I know a lot of you said, let me just check my numbers here and see, we didn't do too bad. Yeah, we lost a few people there, because when I say it's over, a lot of people go, oh, thanks, they're away. But now I'd like to show you the affiliate program. So here we go. Let me just check the names here and see. How did we get on? Yeah, I have 2 more Zooms after this. I've one starting. I've one started 9 minutes ago, but I have to join it in 20 minutes. And then I have another one at 9:30 with Brian Benson. Then I have another one at 10 o'clock to Brazil. So we're busy here. This is the, here we go.
Recording in progress.
Well, thank you all for joining us on this short presentation. We're going to take about 5 minutes just to show you the AURUM affiliate program. Affiliate programs are very, very, very popular today. I know that Apple have an affiliate program. I know that Binance, the cryptocurrency exchange, has an affiliate program. I know that I think the best known one might be Amazon. Amazon might have the best affiliate program out there, but AURUM have decided to do this as well. They're going to go the same way. They're going to have their own affiliate program. They call it a partner program. It's same idea. Very, very simple. We don't do multi-level like 7 levels, 10 levels, none of that kind of stuff. That's what I thought when I saw this. It looks to me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels. No, this is just a table. This is more to do with volume and structure. And as you rank up, you get pay rises, just like traditional business. You start in the shop and maybe you're just brushing the floor and stacking the shelves, and the boss promotes you to supervisor, so you get a pay rise. Later on, he promotes you to manager, you get a pay rise. Later on, you're area manager of 5 or 6 stores, you get a pay rise. Then you're a director in the company, you get a pay rise. That's what we have on the table. Everybody starts as Nova. We're all on the ground floor. And once you get promoted, you get that pay rise. So as a Nova, you get 3% on the deposits to the EXI bot from all of your clients. You might have 1 client, you might have 2, you might have 10, you might have 10,000, doesn't matter. It's a 1 tier, 1 level affiliate program, none of this multi-level stuff. And it's as simple as that. Now, what I like about it is a number of things. Number one, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to be in this. It's like, once you have your bank account with them, there's a $20 membership for the year over there, but it gives you a referral link. And it's up to you whether you use that or don't use it. And you don't have to share this with anybody. This is not obligatory. You can do it if you wish. If you think it's good, maybe you want to share it with somebody, but there's no obligation. You can be totally passive and enjoy this. But for those of you that think it's a good idea and would like to share it, you get 3% on all deposits. Now, what happens is, as soon as $7,500 of total team trading, now that's just your customers and theirs and their customers and theirs and theirs, to infinity generations in depth. That's all customer trading volume, not just your customers. Once that reaches 7,500, you get an instant promotion. You get 5% on deposits. You used to get 3, now you're getting 5. If one of your customers brought a customer, they would get the 3 because they're the new person, yeah? You get 2% override to infinity generation, deposit, deposit, deposit. All around the world, you're getting 2% on every deposit that goes in there. You get 5% on your own customers, but 2% on somebody else's, if that makes sense. You get all of your money back. In this example, you deposited, let's say, personal contribution of $100. Well, once you hit this Voyager rank, $100 by smart contract hits your wallet. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to wait for the end of the day, end of the month, end of the year. Instant smart contract payment straight into your account. So that's pretty cool. Totally out of risk at that point. And then you get another 5%. But this 5% is better than that 5%. Why is that? How could one 5% be better than a different 5%? 5% surely is the same. No, this 5% is on the deposit. This 5% is on the profits every day, daily profits. So as your customers are getting paid profits every day, you get a 5% matching bonus on what they get. Imagine I was your customer and I make $100 today, you get $5, 5%. If I get $200 tomorrow, you get $10, you get 5% every single day. And if a customer puts in Bitcoin or Ethereum or BNB, even if you don't have any in the system, you get paid 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in Ethereum, 5% in BNB, 5% in Doge, 5%. Whatever bots they're using, if you've got this first rank, then you get 5% on all coins. You can build a little portfolio of coins you never had before without even putting those into the system. I think that is sensational. If you'd like more than 5%, well, all you need to do is help the team grow to $25,000 of total team trading on all customers to infinity generations. Incredible and not too difficult. You get 7% on your own personal customer deposits. If one of your customers brings a different customer, they get 3 because you're new, they're new. You get the difference between 7 and 3. You get 4% to infinity generations on all of the deposits that are coming in. You get a $500 cash bonus. And now you get 7.5% every single day on the trading profits of all the customers to infinity levels. As long as there's nobody has reached the rank of Voyager or Vanguard on that line, you're the only one getting 7.5%, 7.5%, 7.5% on every trading profit to infinity generations. Now, let's say one of your lines, there was a Voyager created on that line. Well, they'll take 5% from them down. You'll get 7.5 until you meet them. Then you'll get 2.5 on their business to infinity, and you'll get 7.5 on all other open lines. So I don't want to make it any more complicated that if you're new to this style of marketing, it's very, very rewarding. But I believe that if you understood what I've said in the first three promotions, Nova, Voyager, and Vanguard, if you've understood that, you've understood 90% of our compensation plan. And we prefer to maybe show it to you in more detail at training. This is designed to give you an overview, a feel for the thing. It's really, really sensational compensation plan. And if you want to get bigger percentages, you want to go from 7 to 9, well, all you need is a little bit more volume and a little bit more structure. You go up to 62,000, you get a pay rise. 125,000, another pay rise. $250,000 in the box, you're getting 12% on deposits, 15% on daily profits. It's incredible. And when you hit this Oracle rank, you get a share on the entire global sales. That's not just your business, it's everybody's business. You're getting paid on the entire company's profit. It's a shared pool bonus paid out every 3 months. On top of that, these cash bonuses are fantastic. $100, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. You might have heard me say there's 15 ranks. We're only looking at 7 on the screen. Let's bring up the next 8 ranks. The next rank is elite. You get a $20,000 bonus, followed by a $50,000, followed by 100,000, followed by 150,000. That's right. And if you want to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires, we heard him saying, if you were listening to our product overview, our company overview, Brian Benson says this nearly on every occasion. He wants to create 1,000 millionaires. I've no doubt if you make your way to Dominion, you will get a $500,000 bonus. Prior to reaching that, you'd have already received the 150, the 100, the 50, and the 20. That's $820,000 in just those bonuses. Never mind what we saw on the first page. Never mind the direct bonuses you're getting. Never mind the daily team profits. Never mind the shareholder bonuses. I've no doubt you'll be a millionaire. I know 2 people who reached over $1 million in earnings prior to reaching the Dominion rank. I know one guy who's on this call. He reached Magnet in 4 months. He reached Mythos in 6 months. Only 2 steps away. 2 steps away from a $500,000 bonus. If somebody else can do it, I have no doubt you can do it. It's the same company. It's the same Brian Benson for you as it is for him. It's the same products that he uses as you can use. It's the same compensation plan for him as it is for you. It's the same 24 hours in a day that God gave you. He only got 24 hours a day as well. So really, the differential is sitting on your seat. It's what you want to do with this. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks again for joining us. If you want to attend the training, learn more about this, fantastic. But here's the good news. You don't have to understand it to use it. You don't have to understand it to make it work. A bit like your car. I know how to drive a car from A to B, from the house to the shop. A car is a vehicle that takes me from where I am to where I'd like to be. But I have no clue. I have no clue how the fuel gets from the tank up through the car into the engine and what all that magic goes in under the bonnet. I don't understand that. But my car can get me from A to B. I know when I hit a light switch on the wall, all of a sudden this light comes from the sky, comes down on me and go, wow, how did that happen? And I know when I turn it off, it goes black. How does that work? We use it every day and we don't necessarily understand it. Same here. You don't have to understand this to make money. As you do it, you'll learn it. As you do it, we call it as you earn, you will learn. Why did I get 3%? Oh, why did I get a $100 bonus? Ah, now I know. Oh, why did I get a $1,000 bonus? Now I understand. You can learn it as you earn it. You don't need to understand it to say, yes, I want to give this a go. With that said, we'll see you again. See you at training soon. And thanks again. Please do get back to the person that shared this with you. They thought enough of you to share it with you. Please get back to them and let them know